Right. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Pokemon Trading Card Game Bremen Regionals Championship for 2017, but for the 2018 season. Once again, I'm Nick Pierce, I'm here with Lydia, and we have for you, if you guys have not seen it on the Limitless Facebook page already, check it out if you haven't. We have the top 8 for this regional. So Lydia, would you like to do the honors?
So first seed, the one and only Tord Reklev.
Of course.
Yeah, we have seen him on stream this weekend twice already.
Yeah. Yes.
And we will see him now in his top 8 match.
We will. And he is playing Drampa Garbodor with the 1-1 SPMGX.
Exactly.
Yes.
So second seed is Philip Emmerich. He's a German player. He was quite successful during the end of last season and in this season as well.
Yeah, and we had him on stream yesterday as well.
We had him on stream yesterday, and he's playing Garbodor. Then we have Benjamin Xerneas. He's a German player as well. He's from Berlin. He's playing a Fire Jack with Ho-Oh and Celesl. Fourth seed is Thomas Just, a Czech player. Do you know what he's playing, Nick?
I'm actually not sure, no.
I'm not sure either. Okay, fifth seed is Patrick Batozovic. We have just seen him on stream. We just had him here for an interview.
We did.
So
yeah, he's playing Big What Bulu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sixth seed, I know he has many fans out there. It's Mark Lutz.
He did make it.
Yeah, he made it. He's playing Galizapod. Even so, he's now facing Benjamin with a Celesl Ho-Oh. So Mark is not very optimistic, but
you just like imagine the facial expressions he's making right now in this game, probably.
So seventh seed is Philip Schultz with Galizapod as well, and eighth seed Tamao Cameron.
He was playing Xerneas Break, so actually quite a varied top 8. Actually, we've got like one Xerneas, one Drampa Garbodor, Vikabulu, a couple of Galisapods. One Fire Deck, one Gardevoir, and Thomas Justin Unknown.
Yeah. It's quite surprising to see not that much Garbodor and no Metagross.
Yeah.
If Thomas is not playing Metagross, no Metagross at all made it into top 8.
Yeah.
Ninth seed is Robin, but he did not bubble. He had only 29 points. It was a clear cut, so 30 points made it to tops. Robin is 9th seed with Metagross.
Yeah, so I like clean cuts. No one feels bad about a clean cut, you know what I mean?
Really? You don't like if someone bubbles?
Bye. I'm gone. See ya.
Okay, Nick is gone.
I gotta come back. So yeah, but as we were saying, so Tord will be on the stream, of course, as he is the first seed. He will be playing against the 8th seed, who is of course Tamao Cameron. So we are going to cut to that game for you guys right now. Although we should probably correct these names first.
Yeah, actually, just go into the break screen, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, we guys will be back very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, we are back here, so just to let you know, we're literally cutting just as they're getting their deck, so they weren't even ready to start, but we have Wait, oh, the names didn't update. Oh, wow. All of that break and we didn't even do it properly. There we go. So, just for clarity, yeah, we are, of course, in top 8 for this regionals. They will have 75 minutes on the clock. So, we are getting like the full, as it should be, top cut amount for this. It's good. It's better. I prefer 75 minutes to 60 minutes for top 8. I mean, if you've gotten this far, you deserve a good, for 75 minutes to play a best of 3.
It's much more relaxed. You don't have to rush that much. And of course, going into I don't want to say going into a tie, but having a unclear outcome or
a game basically a game not resolving by someone actually winning properly, quote unquote, is essentially what you're saying. Now, this should be an interesting matchup. I actually feel like Tamao is favored, I guess, because the thing with Tamao is that actually he doesn't need to work as hard as he would do in some other matchups to KO stuff, because the highest number of HP in Tord is the 200 HP Espeon GX, and most of the stuff is 180 or lower. However, Tord can quite easily stream KOs on Xerneas with his Drampa, and he doesn't even need a choice man to do it. Like the 150 is exactly enough.
But still, Tord can't be that disruptive, as Tamao does not rely on abilities a lot. Of course, he plays Takulele, and he can't. Well, Espeon EX isn't a big help here. Of course, he can de-evolve the breaks, but
it only reduces 20 HP. It doesn't even make that much of a difference. And not only that, but as long as Tamao is clever about it, which I'm assuming he will be, I mean, he's a very good player, he can just play the game in a way where he plays basically 0 items. He can just like Geomancy for days, not play a single max elixir, and then just sweep Tord's entire field. And I think if he can, that's the strategy he's going to try and take. Yeah.
So Tamao will just try to play safe, or will try to do his setup as fast as he can, and
as fast as he can, but without using as many items, because the one way Tord can come back into the game is if he's allowed to just stream Garbotoxes and trade 1-for-1 knockouts.
But still, I think it has also a lot to do with how good Tord is able to put a lot of early game pressure on Tamao, because Tord will for sure be able to attack much faster.
Yeah, this is true as well. Either way, it's going to be a very interesting game.
Oh yeah.
Two of Europe's best players going head to head. I think Tamao especially is going to be really happy about this. I think he's been wanting to make top 8 at regionals for a while now, and he definitely deserves to. Like he's been one of the UK's players who's been playing the longest, who's like still sort of around. I think only out of all the players who are active right now, I think it's only really Adam Hawkins that beats him, who's been playing since forever basically. It should be really fun to see.
Yeah, it's always nice to see people who really stuck to the community for a very long time, having success at the game, and also to see them still having fun.
Yeah, and Tord as well. Tord has been playing for both of these players. These are not, these are not fresh faces. These are very much experienced pillars of the community going head to head, which should make for an amazing match. What we're hoping.
But actually, if you look at the top 8, there are a lot of names you know for years.
By the way, I was having a chat with the chat earlier. I noticed this German tapulele here. Is this yours?
Yeah, those are mine.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what was going on there. We were saying the wonder tag in German is Wunderfang.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was.
And it's Kapufala.
It is Kapufala. I thought that was cool. And we also have Energieantrieb.
Exactly. Yeah, that's basically literally energy drive.
In German.
Yeah. Sometimes they come up with a kind of strange translations that don't really work out, or that make a pun that was definitely not intended.
I'm going to think of one example which we're not allowed to say on the stream. A favourite of David Hockman. Okay, let's put it this way. If you ever get the chance, look up the attack name, the German attack name for Drapion level X.
Oh yes.
And then, if you're still a little bit confused, ask a German. They'll explain.
But also, Selgor had quite funny attacks.
Oh, I didn't know this one. Is that also not PG or?
Well, it is. It was like, the English name was something with La and Tide or
deck and cover.
Deck and cover, yeah, exactly. Deck and cover, and the German one was Peinigen and Abhauen, which was something like to hurt someone and then run away.
Oh, so it's a run. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, someone was having a really fun time translating some of the German cards now. It's funny because the word which is like a problem on the Drapion specifically, there is actually another word which you can use which isn't rude at all, and that's the word they use now. So I think someone eventually realised and they thought, hold on a minute, what's this German guy doing? like David's life mission is like to meet this person and like shake his hand basically.
Okay, so let's focus on the match again a little bit.
Yeah,
looks like they are just about to start.
Yeah, that's kind of why we're having a little bit of fun here. These guys are still sort of waiting to set up and get started. Looks like Tamao's first draw is a mulligan though. Does Todd have a mulligan as well?
I don't think so.
No, so there we go. Tamao showing, not really, actually not that bad a hand, but no Pokemon, just, Yeah,
you can't start with it,
Yeah, exactly. Also, I guess you don't really want to have that many energy in hand. You prefer them more to be in the deck so you can keep doing Geomancy.
But still, I mean, it's pretty likely to have an end in the first few turns, and it's also likely that Tord is playing an end, so it shouldn't be too bad off the start.
Yeah, of course.
But still, he had Max Elixir in his hand, and well, if you have Max Elixir in your hand, you don't really want the energies in your hand. No,
because it means you're less likely to make them hit.
Yeah, sure.
So here goes Tamao again. Does he find a basic this time? It's actually not too unlikely for this deck to mulligan because the basic count isn't ridiculously high. You have 4 Xerneas, I think 3 Lele, and then 1 Oranguru, and I think that's it. Unfortunate start for Tamao as he actually starts with the Tapu Lele, not the best. But he does have an Ultra Ball and a Fairy Energy, so that's a bit of a saving grace. And we're just going to give the signals to the judges, let them know that we're ready. We hope that you guys are ready. We are going to kick this off. Top 8 of the Bremen Regional Championships of the Pokemon Trading Card Game. Tamao going first, starting with Tapu Lele, and Tord starting with a Drampa.
So, let's see what's going to happen.
Tamao's going to start off with an Ultra Ball, of course. He wants to... Ooh, gonna have to discard both the Xerneas breaks.
Oh, but it looks like he's got a Super Rod in his hand.
Yeah, I think it was a rescue stretcher. But either way, like he's gonna be able to shuffle both the Xerneas breaks back in, so absolutely fine. Not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, you can see he's already eyeing up that the Pokemon from the Bridget. So there it is. He's literally getting all 5 cards at once. So ultra Ball for algorithm.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's the only thing I can think that's happening. But
wait, he may not attack on his first turn.
Oh, of course. But that's the problem, obviously. Yeah, this is. He's just doing this to save time. Obviously, I think Tord knows what's going to happen, and he just assumes that Tamao is going to do things properly. So and then just gonna have a quick look through his deck just to make sure again that he knows what's available. Like, important enough in day 1, even more important in day 2. In top 8, absolutely crucial. Like, you can't just like not do that. Yeah, there you go. Ultra Ball for the Lele for the Bridget for 2 Xerneases and an Oranguru. Now we can go back into the deck. No, okay, he's playing a stretcher now. So yeah, the 2 Xerneases he discarded will go back into the deck, and all that's left for Tamao to do now is attach a Fairy Energy, and then. I'm not sure if that will thin out his hand enough to do an Instruct, but if he does, then obviously he'll use that to do a small draw and then a pass, more than likely.
But he's in a good position. We saw him having, well, a pretty similar start earlier today, so...
Yeah, we did. And interesting choice for him here, actually, because he does have 2 choice bands in hand. He could choose to maybe just attach one of them in the Fairy Energy and then do Instruct for 2. That way, it's like a compromise between committing everything. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do. So this is something that Tamao likes to do a lot, and it makes a lot of sense because you want to make your opponent's field blowers do as little as possible. So you want to make it so that if Torb is a field blower, it just gets rid of 1 choice band. Then that way you have the follow-up one to actually use, and that it's making Tord's cards less effective essentially.
Yeah, that's also a strategy you should especially follow in Garbodor decks, because you want to keep as many float stones as possible, of course. Yeah, and not only that, but it also means that Tord will do less damage with Trash Avalanche as well. That's an important thing. So if there's only 1 item discarded, going to work out well for Tamao. So with that, there will be a pass, and then it goes back to Tord. You see his hand looks pretty workable as well. He's got a Psychic Energy, he's got a Float Stone. Looks like he's got some kind of Draw Supporter, or he has a Hala. Hala, not that great if you've not used a GX attack yet, but he's got the Psychic Energy, so that's the big wheel guaranteed. And already you see there's the Field Blower, and only being able to discard the 1 choice band. But it still looks like there are 4 items in Tamao's discard pile.
Yeah, I'm sure if he could have done, he would have rather not discarded the 2 Xerneas breaks and then used the stretcher straight away. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world, because even if, unlike say for example, if Tamao was playing a GX focused deck, if Tamao does end up putting so many items in the discard pile that the Trash Lunch Garbodor is KOing all of his Xerneas breaks, it's still a 1-for-1 prize trade. So it's not as bad as it could be. As we see, Tord just does a Sycamore, just discarding all that guff. As Connor Bird might say.
So, what did he get from this Sycamore? There is an Ultra Ball, and he's now considering what to discard for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky choice, because, as I'm sure you would have much rather done, is probably get a Lele or just a Bridget and be able to set up all his basics. But now he has to actually make a decision as to what he feels like is important to prioritize. He has a Drampa already, so to my mind, that tells me he's probably just going to go for a Trubbish. Either that, or if he doesn't have a supporter in hand, a Lele to follow up for next turn. But I'm thinking more likely a Trubbish.
Yeah, let's see what Tord is thinking.
Yeah. ED could be another option as well, maybe if he feels like the Espeon could be clutch, but it looks like...
Yeah, he's going for a Trubbish.
Yeah, and this absolutely makes sense. You want to have access to either, lock off the Oranguru so that late game end is more effective with the Garbotoxin, or just start trading 1-for-1 blows with Trash Lunch. And there goes down the Trubbish. Do you think we'll just see a big wheel out of Tord after this?
Oh, we saw that happen before, and I think it's pretty likely. Actually, it's something Tord likes to do, using his big wheel GX very early in the game. Yeah, it's a great attack. He gets 10 completely fresh hand cards, which is huge, and it kind of forces Tamao to play an N if he has an N available.
And then if he doesn't, because Tord is living the dream.
Yeah.
It's just seemed like, Tord actually had another Drampa ready in his hand to go. So actually, although he wasn't able to rid it, still getting a fairly decent setup. I think the only thing he would have maybe wanted is a second Trubbish. So maybe he can evolve one into the Garbotoxin and one into the Trash Lunch. But as it stands, yeah, just flipping his GX counter over, going for the big wheel, going to shuffle his hand in and draw 10 new cards.
And still, it's not too bad for Tord having only one Trubbish, as we already saw that Tamao takes a lot of time to set up. He tends to Geomancy for the first 3 or 4 turns even, so Tord has time.
He does have time. And now another oh, that's so ridiculously unlikely. He actually draws another choice band, and he's going to be forced to attach both here. He needs to see this end, so he needs to give himself the maximum chance to see it. Does defeat instruct, he draws another choice band.
But just a Sycamore,
at
least.
But God, he's drawn all of them already. And chances are Tord's gonna have the field blower. He's just big wheeled. Tamao does not have access to the N here.
But I mean, there's nothing he can really do.
I guess not. He can do that. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. So it gives him like one more chance to maybe try. He won't be able to end, but at least maybe he just does this to buy himself a couple more turns, because he's playing the way he always plays with this deck. He's just setting up slowly, wanting to not discard too many items. This way he isn't forced to attach a choice band straight away if he does this. This makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, the maximum Tord will be able to do this turn is, maybe... Well, I guess he could switch and then attach a double colorless, but using the Guzma to bring the Drampa with nothing on it active makes it much less likely, even with a big wheel, for Tord to be able to do much to counter Tamao's stuff.
Yeah, and we already have seen Tamao as a really patient player. He's taking his time, and the deck also fits pretty good to his way of playing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tord there sitting with a pretty stacked 11-card hand, but still thinking pretty hard about it. I guess when you have that many things to choose from, it's like, what do I even do? Like, so many different directions I could go, which one's the best?
There's a Potown.
There is, and he's also got 2 more Trubbishes. That's pretty ideal for him. He also is debating... I mean, he got 1 Trubbish that he could evolve, so that could become either the Trash Lunch or the Garbotoxin. At this point, there's not too much that... I mean, if he evolves the Garbotoxin Garbodor, it maybe stops Tamao from doing a few more instructs, so then at that point, Tamao will be forced to play the Sycamore. All the same, it's not the easiest decision in the world.
So, What is he going to do?
It looks like he's eyeing up a Guzma.
Oh, a Guzma.
Zone.
Oh, for the Onguro. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think what Todd's thinking here is that that Onguru is really, really strong in terms of what it allows Tamao to do if Todd is unable to Garbotoxins. So with that, he puts a rainbow on the bench Drampa, does 10 to it, and he can then retreat into something and maybe just send it up as a cannon fodder. You can do 20 with the Righteous Edge, but that doesn't really seem to achieve much. And but I guess that is in the end what he decides to do.
I think what he's considering is that Tamao probably has no troll support as he was playing Guzma last turn, and he does not want the Onguru to help Tamao at all.
Yeah, this makes sense. It forces Tamao to either draw into another energy and discard both, or to see the Fairy Garden and then retreat into something else. And as we see there, the energy getting attached onto, you can see Tamao's being a lot more considered with where he actually puts these energies in the max elixirs. In the game we saw him last time, he was really, really quick with deciding where to put these, but now he's thinking, you know, this is top 8, I've got to be mega, mega careful about where everything goes. I've got more time. It's not like I don't have to rush like I do in Swiss. I can take that, you know, maybe an extra second or two on each decision to make sure it's absolutely the right one.
Yeah, and Tord is an extremely good player, especially with Drampa Garbodor. I talked to Robin Schulz yesterday, and he was like, oh, I really, really don't want to force Tord. And then Philip said, like, Robin, you know, Drampa Garb is not a bad matchup. But Robin said, it's not Drampa Garb, it's Tord playing Drampa Garb. And it's something extremely different than any other player playing Drampa Garb.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So Tamao there decided, he undenied over whether to do the instruct for the Sycamore or not, didn't decide to do it, ended up finding an N and an EXP share. So the N not ideal, but the EXP share a good card to attach, so ultimately not the worst thing because the worry is of course that you instruct into 2 cards that you just don't want to use and discard, but the sort of Tamao deciding it was worth it. Also, he sees the Fairy Garden, so he's going to play that straight away. I'm not sure if he saw the Xerneas break or not. Oh, he does have one in his hand, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, he's going to be 30 short of the knockout, so he actually needs 2 more energy to get the knockout here, which makes me think he's probably going to go for another Geomancy this turn.
Yeah, this is what we already expected him to do. I mean, he always took some time for Geomancy, and yeah.
It's just how the deck operates, really. And yeah, up goes the Xerneas with only 1 energy on it, because of course that will be the least liability if it does get KO'd. And really debating whether to evolve this Xerneas or not, deciding not to, and he's going to go for the Geomancy, attaching to the 2 things that have the least energy already on them, being the Oranguru and the Tapu Lele.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe play. Of course, he does not want to lose all his energies, and yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. And so now with the Potown countered, Tord will need a double colorless, a Potown, and an evolution in order to do the Wombo combo, do the 150 and KO this Xerneas in the active with Berserk. But to be fair, even if he does do that, Tamao can then just come in with the other Xerneas, evolve with the Xerneas break, find 2 more energy, and well, not even find 2 more energy, he's got all the energy he needs to take the KO now already. So yeah, Tord's got to be a little bit careful here. He's getting to that point where Xerneas break can almost just snowball, and I think the only way that Tamao might come a little bit unstuck is if he isn't able to get out a 3rd Xerneas, because there's only 2 right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's he does find a Potown. That's one piece. That's one
part of the puzzle.
Indeed it is. Now, does he have the evolution and the double colors ready? He's got a field blower. That's pretty big, so not actually
for the XP share and the choice band.
Okay, so now that energy, once if it goes, will actually be gone. So Tamao will also need to find an extra energy if he wants to take the KO on the Drampa. Still not the end of the world. And a Sycamore.
Huge Sycamore.
Oh, actually, no. Thinking about it, Tamao might need a little bit more because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he would just need 1 energy. I was thinking with the choice band, it would he would actually be even further behind, but it's actually not the case because there'll be 8 energy left if this Xerneas gets KO'd, and so you need 1 more to knock out the 180 HP Drampa. But maybe Tord just takes a different route. Maybe Tord just decides to attack with the Trash Lunch now.
He just checked Tamao's discard pile.
Yeah, just maybe we should, for this purposes of the stream, maybe we should actually ask these guys to put out a dice for the amount of items. But we can do that. We can do that at that time. It's not a huge disparity right now. 2 tools. He's got the DCE. Did he miss the evolution?
It seems like it.
Either he's missing the evolution or he's just really not sure which one to. He missed it. Oh no, but it doesn't matter. He had the rainbow on the Drampa. He's still okay. No, that was silly. Yeah, no, it's still fine. But I think still Tord knows that this Drampa is not long for this world. Tamao has the break ready in his hand. He will be able to. He's got another EXP share as well, so he will be able to evolve that Xerneas in the active, and then he probably just play the Sycamore and just hope to dig for that last energy he needs for the knockout. Sadly, not able to replace the Potam before doing so, so the Xerneas break will take an extra 30 damage, but it doesn't really affect the maths for Berserk, so again, not the end of the world. Does he see the energy? Or he's got the double colors, yeah, and a fairy too, so yeah, he's good to go. He's also might even consider playing the Super Rod so that he can get the Xerneas back in, but at the same time, it's not quite as good as a rescue stretch because really you want that Xerneas out in case this break gets knocked out, and then Tamao can keep doing the live streams.
And so far, I'm not so sure about the item count, but maybe he just really does not want to play Super Rod because he does not want to add some extra damage. Yeah,
that's the other thing to consider as well. You gotta be so careful when you're playing against any Garbodor variant for that exact reason. Even though maybe at this point Tamao thinks it doesn't matter anyway, and so yeah, he will just go for the Super Rod. Gonna shuffle in the Xerneas and the 1 fairy energy. I'm thinking that maybe he actually has 2 Xerneas prized. I'd imagine
that could be. Yeah,
because with the way he's playing, because we have seen before that Tamao has tended to favour going for 3 Xerneas straight away if possible, but as it stands now, although having said that, when he was in the situation he was in, he needed to draw extra cards, so maybe that's why I went with the Oranguru. It's actually hard to say, but there's the KO. Didn't see why he took off the prizes, sadly, but yeah, Tamao. The main thing Tamao fears right now is just Potam. Yeah, now Tord needs DC plus Potam because the only thing that has damage is the Drampa. So if he wants to KO the Xerneas with Berserk, he needs to have all the pieces ready in hand, unless there's enough items in Tamao's discard pile to the point where it can do 120 and knock out the Xerneas break that way. That might be a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of things Tord needs right now, and I'm not so sure if he has a draw supporter and which one it is. So, I mean, but he does not seem to be so happy with the cards he has. So.
No, he's definitely agonizing over something. What exactly I couldn't tell you, but it seems like he's going to attach a rainbow to the active Trubbish.
Yeah.
Very hesitantly though, but opting to go for it. So there's the rainbow. Does he have access to the Trash Launch Garb? He has a Potown. And then, is that, I'm guessing that's probably an Ultra Ball. No, it's an N. So Tord really wants to see this Trash Launch Garbodor now. And to be fair, if he does see it, he's in a very good position to win because like Tamao doesn't have a huge response to this.
Not really, and Tamao is losing at least, he's losing 1 energy. There's 1 XP share in the game. And well, of course he's losing his main attacker.
Yeah, and no replacement either. There's no Xerneas that can even like become a Xerneas break next turn.
That would force Tamao to start attacking with Tapu Lele, and that would be then a 2 prize card hitter. And Tamao actually does not want to do that.
No, although he might just not have a choice. The one thing that does work out in Tamao's favour is that with the Potown already being played, Tord evolving into the Trash Launch Garbodor will actually be in enough range to be knocked out from the energy drive. So that's something in his favour at least. And it also means that if Tord then wants to take the Revenge KO back, he would have to find... I'm not sure exactly about how many items are in the discard pile, but more than likely he will have to find... either a Field Blower to take a KO with like a Psychic Energy and Evolution Trash Launch, or a DCE Potown again to trigger the Berserk. A lot of stuff going on here. It's a very intricate matchup actually.
Doesn't he need a Choice Band as well?
Yes, you're right. You would need a Choice Band as well. It's actually a lot to ask for. Yeah. So actually getting it with the Trash Launch Field Blower might be just easier. Looks like Tamao's opting to send up the Oranguru. Oh, of course, this could take the KO as well, actually.
Yeah, of course, because Garbodor has only 60 HP left.
It has 80, but that's exactly 80. Fine, because so the Oranguru's attack Psychic It does 60 plus 20 more for each energy on the opponent's actives. That's exactly enough. Here comes let's be another Super Rod from Tamao. Hesitantly, he's might be changing his mind over what to get with it. No, there it is. There's a Super Rod. So yeah, shove it back in. Xerneas break, end the fairy energy, and gonna just play that. Then it looks like he has the support ready to play. He's not shuffled his deck yet, so that tells me that he might be playing end. Yeah, and that's what's happening. So,
Todd quickly checking his discard pile, maybe already thinking about his chances of drawing what he needs right now. Yeah.
This is going to be very, very close no matter which way you look at it. There's a lot going on here. It's very much sort of like a knife edge in terms of who can actually enchant the advantage. Tamao, I'd say overall, is still on the back foot. He has no Xerneas in play. We can't forget that. He needs to find a Xerneas this turn. He does have an Ultra Ball. It's something.
But an Ultra Ball again means more items in the discard pile.
It does, sadly, but I think at this point you just have to concede that the items are hitting the bin. You need to race. You actually just need to make sure that you have everything you need to just stream attackers consistently and to just take the win that way. I don't think at this point you win the game by stopping yourself from playing more items. And we do see an instruct for free as well. We're still not able to find that Garbodor and Garbodor.
Oh, but there comes another Xerneas.
Okay, so now Tamao's feeling a little bit safer.
Yeah. But he just discarded his Xerneas break, so that's definitely not ideal.
No, it's not. But he was able to take the knockout with his own Guru. That's something at least. Psychic knocking it out. Now back to Tord, who after the end was able to find another Trash Launch, but it doesn't look like he has an energy. And he also does have an Ultra Ball, so he actually could get both the Garbodors out this turn. But carrying the Oranguru doesn't do a huge amount, especially if he was just going to Garbotoxin anyway.
So let's see what he's taking from this Ultra Ball. He might also take a Tapu Lele and find another supporter, but he's going for a Trubbish.
Yeah. It's a Tapu Lele. He could even find him a Guzma, maybe to just deal one Xerneas now, or maybe even help. Tord could consider racing for prizes and carrying one of the Tapu Leles onto Mouse bench himself, but I think the problem with that is that I don't think he has the resources in hand to both Lele for the Guzma and power up the attackers he needs to do that. So looks like instead just going for the Trubbish, and we see that now a Lele, but there's only one card in hand, so that this can never be a Guzma. This is always going to be an N or a Sycamore. Yeah, and there it is, the Sycamore.
It's always nice to play your hand down to such a low size and play a card like Sycamore without any drawback.
Yeah, definitely. You see that? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what that last card in Tord's hand is actually. Whether
it's a Garbodor.
Oh yeah, of course it is. We were saying earlier, weren't we? So you'll probably just. Oh no, it's a Floatstone. He discarded the Garbodor then. Because he feels like he doesn't need it. He needs the. It's interesting, but I don't know, because Potown, if you use the Potown with the Garbodor, you trigger the Berserk. So maybe it wasn't actually a Garbodor, he just missed it, or maybe it's something else.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a Garbodor.
So now the Trubbish down toward. Touches a double colorless, and he's just going to go for the energy drive, which will be exactly enough to knock out. Like 20 damage already on the Oranguru will be 100 plus 20. Oranguru only has 120 HP. It's not that big.
It really isn't, and it takes 3 energies away from Tamao's field, which is a huge amount.
There's no EXP shares. No.
There was an XP share on the Oranguru,
but that
of course doesn't work.
No, can't. It's like EXP share to itself. But it gets killed anyway. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, sadly. Indeed. Now Tamao has a decision, because you see that he was that close to actually just putting the Lele active. He's got what looks to be 4 energy on it already. So actually, with a fairy attachment, that would be 5 energy on the Lele, 7 in total. be 140 plus a choice band 170 is actually a knockout.
Wow.
So.
But still, do you? Well, this is nothing you really want to do because if he leaves the Lele in the active position, he's going to use a massive amount of energies.
Yeah, he is. But at this point, he needs to think about, again, do I just need to race? Is this the only viable attacking option I have to just stop Tord from being able to... Because if Tamao doesn't take down this Lele, then Tord can attach another energy and put even more pressure on with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it looks like... Oh, he's attaching a double colorless. Interesting.
Yeah, he needs a double colorless.
No, because I thought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
now
8.
it's exactly enough.
No, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy between them.
Oh.
There's a choice band already on. You only needed the fairy. But, okay, he's playing the Ultra Ball. That's why. So he just thinks that because you can Super Rod the fairy back in.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, because obviously if you Ultra Ball away to DC, it's always gone. At least if you Ultra Ball the fairy away, you can Super Rod it back. No, there we go. It makes complete sense. And also, if the Lele survives, then it can put even more pressure on with his follow-up attack. Yeah, there we go. It all makes sense now.
So.
Once again, it's going to be an N for... Is Tamao drawing 3 or 4? I think it's 3.
3, yes.
Yeah, and 3 for both players, actually. It's like both players flipped tails on a Ilima. That card that no one plays. Is where I get a bunch of people in chat saying, I play Lima, what are you talking about?
So tell us, do you play Lima?
Answers on a postcard. As I said, that was a max elixir fail for Tamao. Tamao just deciding to play it because at this point he has played so many items that the trash lunch numbers really just don't matter. Like the trash lunch is knocking out anything in Tamao's deck at this point regardless. And now it's kind of just... cross your fingers and pray for Tamao as the Lele goes down and Tord needs to find, again, he needs to find an evolution and a double colorless energy.
Yep.
If he has both of those, he'll be able to knock out the Tapu Lele, taking all that energy off, and then Tamao will really, really struggle to find any kind of meaningful response. He would need to essentially maybe like attach a DCE in Guzma or attach a fairy and have a Xerneas break.
Yeah, I think
Guzma.
this turn might decide the outcome of this match.
Yeah. Well, this game.
This game,
yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. And you can tell here that Tord, he doesn't have an obvious play. He's either that or, again, he's just being his usual self, making sure that he sees every out, even counting Tamao's deck, thinking maybe deck out is an option, but deck out is not an option if you don't deal with this Tapu Lele.
Tamao's down to 1 prize card, and Tord has 3 Trubbish on the field. Trubbish isn't really a strong card or a card with a lot of HP, so yeah, an easy target.
Yeah, we do see Tord does put down the Lele, uses the one side to grab himself the Sycamore, looking at what's actually available in the rest of his deck, whether thinking, is any of this actually going to help me? Am I actually just dead in the water? He needs to know that his likelihood of actually finding this meaningful response from this Sycamore is high. And he has got the choice band actually, so that's 1 piece already. He's not got the evolution yet, so he needs
he's thinking really hard. You can tell from his face and from the way he starts looking at the field and counting a little bit.
Yeah. Well, at this point, he needs the evolution and the DCE. Those are the two missing pieces of the puzzle. Nothing else on Tord's side of the field has damage, so Berserk is currently not doing the required amount to KO the Lele. But if Tord misses here, he probably loses this game. So I guess the question is, does he really have any other option? I don't really see what's in the rest of his hand. I guess he could N, but obviously then his likelihood is less, and he does decide to go for the N. Okay. So this is interesting actually, because this makes it a lot less likely that he hits the KO, but it does also cut down Tamao's options.
I think Tord just realized that he really needs luck now, and well, maybe ending down Tamao to 1 helps.
Well, the play that Tord can fall back on is he can just retreat into the Drampa and do Righteous Edge, which would discard one of the double color synergies, and at that point Tamao would not be able to KO the Drampa straight away. But at the same time, I don't think finding the KO back would be too hard. he's got the rescue stretcher.
Yeah.
That's one piece.
But I haven't seen a double colorless energy.
A Psychic Energy would also do it if he has that, because he can just attack with Trash Avalanche. He's debating over which one to evolve. Looks like he's going to go for the active. Does he have the Psychic Energy? He does!
Yes, he does!
Toward hitting what he needs off the end and taking down the Tapu Lele.
That was a huge turn.
Really was. Now, again, Tamao's in a spot for bother, no doubt about that. Tor has one prize left. Tamao has one prize left. Tamao could opt to promote the Lele. If he hits double colorless, he energy drives, does 100 and the game is over. But otherwise, it's pretty much over for him. And I think he's going to take the risk. What does Tamao draw? I think it's fairly obvious that he missed.
Yeah. And there's no point in hiding it.
No.
No point in putting on a poker face.
No. Oh, and that is it.
That's game 1 for Tord.
Tord takes a nail biter of a game, winning game 1, and with that we are into game 2. That was insane. That could have gone either way so easily. I'm so glad we got to catch it on camera. That was an incredible game.
It really was. So let's have a quick look at the chat.
Yeah, see what you guys made of that craziness.
Come on, don't be so rude to Tord.
Tord's not a cheat, he's just insanely good.
Yeah.
Insanely good at drawing exactly what he needs off an enter free. But, you know.
Just be a bad player.
Okay,
don't be so hard to judge.
No, if it's Jesper, it's fine. Yeah. I think this matchup is favourable for the Fairy. Yeah, I think overall Tamao is favoured in this matchup, but Tord was able to hit things at the right time, basically.
What's up with the sound? Is the sound okay now? Please tell us.
Yeah, if the sound going with the sound, please let us know. It might have been that people were moving around before, but it should all be good now. If it's not, we can fix it.
Where is Michael Jacobs? Someone asked. I haven't seen this name on the player roster at all. He at least wasn't in top 32.
I'm not sure if he came here today. I didn't see him at least. Last time I saw Michael Jacobs actually played against him at Worlds this year, day 1. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I don't even know how he looks like. So
yeah.
Where's Trust 9 with Planet shirt? I don't know. We haven't forced him to wear another T-shirt, so maybe he just forgot it.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say.
So it's not our fault.
Yeah. I think Tamao looks like. Hold on, scroll down. I think Tamao looks like a professional Gengu player. What's Gengu?
Ooh.
Is that like some kind of?
I have no clue. Please tell us, or please don't.
Fair enough. You're selling Tord list for $25.
I guess Tord will tell us our list his list for free. So just wait a little while.
Yeah, just wait until it's put up on Pokemon.com. Like, yeah, don't go buying this, guys. Come on. Have a bit of patience.
So,
one last thing we're going into the game now. GM, if you want to see what decks are in top 8, we did announce them earlier, but it's a mixture of stuff. We can see obviously these two, Xerneas Break and Drampa Garbodor with Espeon GX, but there's also a Vika Bulu, there's a couple of Galissapod Garbodors. It's quite a varied top 8 actually.
There's no Metagross in top 8.
Do we find out what Thomas Just was playing?
Oh, sorry, no.
No.
We believe there's no Metagross in top 8.
Yeah. Robin was the highest finishing Metagross player, we think, at ninth place, but a clean cut 9th. He didn't bubble. Right. In any case, back to the game. So, game 2, Tamao going first, and already seemingly off to a really great start. He's got Bridget, great. He's probably going to find himself either 3 Xerneas or 2 Xerneas and an Oranguru. Since he's... it will largely depend on what he's... the rest of his hand is. If he already has a draw supporter, he'll probably just go for the 3 Xerneas. If he doesn't, then he will probably go for the 2 Xerneas and the Oranguru, especially considering he already has 1 Xerneas out. So, and that is what he's going to go for.
That's what we also saw him do earlier, so... Yeah.
Right. And with that, it looks like Tamao was already off to a better start in the last game. I mean, one of the reasons why Tord was able to make that sort of comeback push is that Tamao just really ran out of options to attack with Xerneas because he only ever managed to get 2 out. And then at that point, it didn't even matter that he got them back later because she just was never able to attack with them because all the energy was committed to the Lele, and that was the only actual threat.
Yeah, and Tamao also wasn't able to use Geomancy that often, so he kind of struggled with getting all his energy into game.
Yeah, and Todd was able to knock a lot of energy off with some key knockouts as well, especially on the Oranguru, for example.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so in the meantime, it looks like Tamao is pretty good, which is attaching energy to the bench Xerneas, and he will now pass. Now it goes back to Tord, who just ends straight away. Just whacks it down, thinking, "Yep, no, don't want this. Go away. Bye."
Yeah, first round N always feels like, okay, no, let's just restart again.
yeah, don't want this. Hopefully for Tord, his next hand of 6 will be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Yeah, otherwise it will be one of those short matches or short games we unfortunately used to show on this stream.
Potentially, but I don't think that'll happen this time because, I mean, Tord does have a Sycamore in his hand.
Yeah, and there's an energy, so that's also something he can at least work with.
Yeah, and not only that, but that's actually kind of a big deal. So, Tamao, he has an end of his own, but I guess it's kind of the one thing that was big of Mr. Tord was he didn't get any Troubushes, actually. That's pretty big. It means that Tamao, although there's a bit of pressure coming from this Lele, it's still not the end of the world because Tamao can just end here, and as long as he hits an energy, he can Geomancy to 2 of his bench things, and even if Lele then gets the knockout, it's still only 1 energy lost, and Tamao's already powering up his other things.
That's true. So it's Tamao's turn. Tamao played a Fairy Garden, and we see another N.
Yes, we do. Tamao just wants to see a fairy energy here. No shorter explanation than that. He just wants to see a fairy, whack that bad boy on the Xerneas, and go for the Geomancy. Start ramping up his energy on the field. Does he see it? Yep, there it is. It's one of the first few draws. So, yeah, looking happy with that. There goes the fairy energy. And does he have another bench Pokemon as well? That would actually be pretty good. That way you can spread the energy out even more. If not, then, yeah, you're just going to Geomancy to the Oranguru and the Xerneas break on the bench. So that Xerneas break is now ready to attack next turn. Now, what did Tor draw off that end? We didn't actually have a look at it.
Really see it. I'm not so sure if he already had a look at it.
If he probably did, maybe very quickly after sort of putting it down, or if not, maybe just sort of slow rolling himself. But there is an opening here for Tamao to actually win the game next turn if Tor draws absolute garbage. No Garbodor pun intended. But it looks like he has an Ultra Ball at least. So
there's a Trubbish.
Oh, there's a Trubbish. Oh, and there's also a Lele. Yeah, no, Tord's fine.
Oh, and a Drampa.
Tord's more than fine. Wow, that's actually a really good draw off the end.
Yeah, definitely. So Turret now has actually a quite decent setup. Yeah, he's now using Tackle Lele's Wonder Attack ability to find himself a new supporter. He might be going for a Sycamore or maybe another N.
It looks like he's targeting the Sycamore. I think maybe he's thinking about what's in the rest of his hand, thinking, yeah, you know what, I don't mind trading off discarding this to get more cards, and I want to save my N right now. There's nothing particularly I want to end Tamao out of, so I may as well just play the Sycamore.
Yeah, we also haven't really seen the other cards in his hand, so it's kind of impossible to say what the better option is here.
I think I saw a Trash Launch Garbodor, but I didn't see much else.
Yeah, he's going for the Sycamore. Yeah.
Also, discarding a Trash Launch Garbodor is fine because it's one of these things you can get back with Rescue Stretcher. Discarding one is really not the end of the world. And Tord, since this is his first deck search, he will, again, just look through the deck, make sure he knows what's available to him, what's not, just checking his prizes properly, and give the deck a shuffle. And we can see actually a crowd starting to form behind Tord there. I just realized on the player cam, people are obviously very keen to watch this game. You gotta make sure they don't get too close though. I'm sure the judge will be making sure that they don't give anything away.
Yeah, there are also a security guard to tell the people to not get too close.
Yeah, that's good. So, what does Tord do now? We know he has a Sycamore. He's got a Choice Band and a Psychic Energy. So, and another Choice Band. So actually, he's literally just discarding. With that, that wasn't even a Garbodor. That was a Psychic Energy. So that was a really perfect Sycamore, actually.
Wow.
the saving grace for Tamao here is that because Tord is already committed to attaching the psychic energy, this Xerneas is safe. It will last one more turn. If Tord could have potentially attached it on a DCE to the Lele and actually knocked out the Xerneas, which would have been not terrible, but would have been a little bit annoying.
Yeah, well, it would have been annoying, but it would also, well, put Tord in a, well, not the best position. You don't really want to continue attacking with Tapu Lele, so you rather start building up something else here.
Yeah, you want to ideally start attacking with Drampa as soon as possible, and also attacking with Drampa before the Xerneases get so buff that they can one shot anything on the field. So from Tamao's side, we do see Tapu Lele of his own, going to grab himself an N. Not going to play it just yet. He's got a double colorless to commit. He's also got a choice band, which is going to whack on the Lele as well. Then after that, he will indeed play the N, and I imagine not long after he draws off this N, we'll probably just see a Geomancy again, just ramping everything up, make sure that he's got all the attackers he needs to see for the rest of his game, because of course that was a little bit of how he lost the last game.
Yeah, at this point he's basically just waiting for his Xerneas to get KO'd, and until this happens, he will just continue to leave it in the active position, use Geomancy one more turn probably, and then he'll be fine. Then he will have enough energies on the field. Indeed.
Tamao getting a pretty good draw off the end actually. We see he's got a double colors ready for next turn, so he can like ramp up his damage even further. He's even got a Xerneas break to evolve on the bench. That's really good. So he's actually got 2 attackers ready to go. Actually, not much more that Tamao could ask for here. He's getting a much better setup than he was in the last game.
Oh yes, of course. The only thing he could maybe ask for would have been the 4th Xerneas, but well. Oh,
he's actually switching gears straight away. So I guess he feels like he's comfortable enough, especially with the XP shares, that he's at that point in the game where he thinks, right, I'm going to start actually chasing prizes now. I've got enough to knock out this Lele, so I'm going to bring that down. And especially because I've got the backup Xerneas break, even if this gets knocked out in return, I just revenge KO right back.
Yeah, and now Tord kind of gets rewarded for attaching the energy rather to the Drampa GX and not to the Tapu Lele.
Yeah, indeed. So he must have been thinking about that, thinking maybe this is the turn where Tamao switches to the more aggressive mode with this deck, and so at this point I need to be very careful about overcommitting stuff. And so now Tord has got a decision on what to promote. He does indeed bring up the Drampa. There is a potential for a KO here. Again, he needs like the combo of Potown plus Evolution plus double colorless. Choice band not being really relevant because, of course, it doesn't do any more damage to the Xerneas, but he does need the extra damage of Berserk to do the 150, which will be enough to knock out the Xerneas break.
So let's see if he can get it.
Well, he's got an Ultra Ball, so that's a start. It looks like he's just discarding
a choice band. Is it a Rainbow Energy for sure?
Yeah, Rainbow Energy for sure. And then I'm not sure if that's a Potown or not. It's definitely some kind of trainer, but can't quite tell what it is.
Well, before he placed it down completely, it looked like it had a dark blue background, but yeah.
It's interesting. It looks like the crowd is semi-dispersed, or maybe they just moved around. We see the cameo appearance from Shivan Butcher of the UK in the background of Tord's player cam there. But yeah, with the Ultra Ball, he is indeed going to just grab himself the Trash Launch Garbodor. Looks like he's not shuffling, so maybe going back into the deck. Oh, he's evolved straight away. Yeah. That's interesting.
There's the Potown.
So he opted to evolve before playing the Potown. That's interesting.
It is.
Is he expecting to hit another evolution?
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe he... Maybe he's not going for the Berserk and, well... But there's no point in using Righteous Edge.
No, there's no DCE on that Xerneas. It's Choice Band and 2 Fairy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, Tord's an excellent player.
Maybe he's going for Big Wheel GX?
Possibly, actually, yeah. No, that could make a lot of sense. He's not done it yet. He does like to do it. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, this is what I thought would be the case. So he did that because obviously he didn't want to have the attacking Garbodor damage, but he doesn't mind having the Garbotoxin Garbodor damage. So now, as long as he's a double colorless, which he might have missed actually. Oh dear, that could be a problem.
Pretty unlucky.
Yeah, in fact, that's a problem in like multiple ways, because not only does it mean he misses the KO, but it means that he's going to get KO'd right back by the Xerneas break, and that's a problem.
So, if you're a Tord, so what are you going to do now? I guess he's going to grab another Drampa with the Ultra Ball.
Possibly. He might want to. Well, I was going to say he might want to leave a bench slot free for another attack with Lele, but he's already committed to the Garbatoxin now, and that is indeed active with the choice band on it. So, yeah, indeed, he will just go for another Drampa because he knows that this one in the active is going to go down, so he wants one to follow up with for later. And I imagine, given that there's no DC from what we can see, that he will just like attach an energy to the bench Drampa instead, so that can maybe follow up with an attack on the next turn.
Yep.
And that's indeed exactly what happens.
And I guess he's going for Righteous Edge now.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have much of a choice, does he? That's all he can go for. He can't retreat.
Yeah.
Oh no, Big Wheel. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to say Big Wheel.
Yeah, you even said it earlier. Yeah, you said it at first. So, yeah, all good. So, yeah. Tord, realizing that he can't get the KO, so just takes his opportunities to go for the Big Wheel. Going to draw 10 cards. And, I mean, you can't really complain at 10 cards, can you?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't really, the Righteous Edge doesn't really help him. 30 damage, well, that does not help him get another amount that he can hit in another way, so...
Definitely not. It's like... Tamao's finding his 4th Xerneas now. That's going to help him out a lot. He must have fished that from out of his prizes. So I imagine he's going to start trying to commit Fairy Energy to that. Oh no, he has another DCE first. I think he's just really making sure that he has enough energy to KO anything that Tord puts in his path, essentially. I think that's the approach that Tamao's taking here. He even has another Max Elixir.
Tord is just nodding like, Okay, I see what you're going to do here.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, in top 8, when you have 75 minutes, now, if this was Swiss, Tord might have actually considered scooping here.
Yeah.
But given that he has more time, and I mean, there's still 30 minutes left on the clock here, there's actually no reason for Tord to scoop. Maybe there's a tiny chance that Tamao misplays or that Tord spots something that, he thinks that can actually win in the game. So he's going to try and play this out. But it's quite likely at this point that Tamao will take this game. Like that would be, if I were a betting man, that would be my prediction.
Yeah, that would probably be a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. With Tord now, he's obviously brought up the layer of the float stone. He's got a free retreat, so he can just decide what to promote once he's fought through all his choices. Now he was able to keep the Big Wheel hand actually. Tamao did not have the N, so he's gonna have a lot to work with here. He doesn't need to have the Field Blur.
Yeah.
Gonna discard the 2 tools on the bench. This tells me that Tord is confident that he has to knock out on the Xerneas break on the active. Otherwise, he would have discarded that as well.
Well, he just Big Wheeled, so he should have a double cover.
Of course, yeah. So he now has everything he needs to do 150 with Berserk to knock out the Xerneas. He's going to just play out the rest of his hand as well. Going to make sure he end-proofs himself. Going to discard a couple of useless things, maybe.
Maybe going for another Garbodor.
He has a Trash Launch in his hand already.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I don't. Looks like he's going opting to discard a
and the Espion.
Yeah, the Espion EX, of course, not very useful in this matchup at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, and Tord just opting to get nothing off of that, and actually not going to evolve the Trubbish, and he is just going to play the N. Bring down Tamao down to 2 cards, whilst Tord is going to get the full 6. Actually, he's yet to take a prize.
True. Well, if Tord is now able to catch up a little bit and Tamao is now, well, not drawing that good, it could be that Tord still has a chance of winning this game, but he needs to draw almost perfectly and really hopes Tamao is whiffing on supporter cards.
Yeah, he really does. Now, what does Tord see that can help him? I mean, obviously he's going to do this. He's going to bring up the Drampa. He's going to take knockout on his Xerneas, so Tamao's going to lose 2 energy off the field. That leaves him with 7 energy left. So he needs a Fairy to attach to the Xerneas to attack, and a Choice Band. That would do it. Maybe a Fairy and a Max Elixir. That would also do it.
Does Tamao have any Choice Bands left?
He did have to play a lot earlier, didn't he? So he might not actually. There's a Fairy.
Okay. Sorry.
And there's. Wait. No, he's short. He's sadly 20 short of anything, so he has to Sycamore. Yeah. Does he see a Max Elixir or a Choice Band?
Hmm.
Probably not.
He does not look too happy.
No, he doesn't indeed.
Slightly nodding.
The one saving grace for Tamao is that even if he can't KO this Drampa, if he just damages it, then Tord just cannot attack with it again, because if he does, Tamao just brings up the Lele, and then
Yeah, that's true.
and then just attacks the Drampa for game.
But Tord has some Garbodors ready, waiting on his bench to attack, so it's not such a big of a problem.
Yeah, he would just 100% retreat the Drampa and attack one of the Garbodors. So now what does Tamao do? He's got to be very careful about how he makes his next move. He has got the Fairy Garden actually as well. So actually, maybe he just retreats to the Lele this turn and attacks that, or is he actually just going to go for the live stream? He's going to go for the live stream. Yeah. He could have attacked the Lele that turn, but then again, if he does, he loses a ton of energy, and then he can't actually follow up knockout. So he's going to just attack with the live stream with the Xerneas break. Going to do live stream for sadly 20 short of a knockout. And now Tord, again, he just needs to be very careful about how he responds, because although now there's an opening for him, Tamao is still very much in a very good position to take this game. All he really needs is either Tord to leave the Drampa active, or assuming he's going to retreat the Drampa, there's no two ways about that. Then at that point, all Tamao needs is a Guzma. So what is he going to do? There is a Rainbow Energy in his hand, which he can make use of, so you could use that to maybe attack with the Trash Launch. That would be pretty good. He has got an Ultra Ball as well. He can thin out some more stuff.
Yeah. He's playing the Ultra Ball now, discarding an Eevee and a Trubbish, both basic Pokemon he does not need in this game anymore.
Definitely not. And now he will evolve the bench Garbodor, sorry, the bench Trubbish into another Trash Launch Garbodor, so he has access to 2 of those now. He will definitely need both of those to see him through the rest of this game if he's going to take this win path. And with that in mind, he's going to, again, he's got to be very careful with how he treads here. This is dangerous, dangerous territory. He has an opening, we know that much. It's an unlikely opening, but it's still an opening. If Tamao whiffs enough, he can actually still win this game. There is a Field Blower as well. That's pretty strong. That would get rid of Tamao's retreating options by discarding the Fairy Garden and then followed up with a Sycamore. Does Tamao actually have the Guzma in hand? I don't think I see it.
Well, I feel like Tamao already has at least 2 Guzmas in his discard pile.
I think you're right about that, because he played one and he discarded one of that Sycamore just now. But Tord does find the Float Stone, so with that he can retreat the Drampa for free, conserving the energy. Gonna bring up the Garbodor, and there Tamao's showing the Guzma. There it is. So Tamao's going to play that, he will be able to take the last KO with that, and he will be moving on to game 3.
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue.
Yes. Yeah. So sorry about that. Because again, like we said before, day one, we're in a ticket office right now, so people can actually sort of like walk in and sort of like see us. And I think is there a friend of yours who's here?
Actually, she is kind of employing me.
Oh right, okay. So she's from Jokkmokk?
Yeah, she's from Jokkmokk.
Okay, so yeah, we have someone from Jokkmokk on the other side of the window here, so that's pretty cool. But
this is live. 9. Okay.
So it looks like both players have actually gone for a toilet break.
Oh yeah.
I just realised that. Hold on, like the player cam thinking that's not Tord.
No, not Tord.
No, definitely not. That's so I guess it's a tag team battle. So Brian Erickson is going to step in for Tord, and it looks like on the other side is who's that? Anthony Horn? Is that there in the background? I'm not sure.
Or maybe it's also the part of the building playing, like the column.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's actually Column GX is going to to take over for Tamao, and in this sudden plot twist of the Bremen Regionals, we have a very, very exciting game for all of a sudden now.
But now we have some time to, well, chat with you guys.
We do.
Toilet lot. Yeah.
Pokemon Con 2017.
Well, I guess if they are both on the toilet, they will have a time extension. But well,
I can remember I had, let's say, the same problem. I really needed to go to the toilet, and the judge told me that it would be okay to go to the toilet, but I can have no time extension for that.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't think that's correct. Like, that seems really rough. All right, Jesper Eriksson 99. No, you can't have a shout out. What's the opposite of a shout out? You can have that.
A shout in.
Actually, I think it's actually. Yeah, but okay, I can't say that. Yeah, I remember now. But yeah, you can have the opposite of a shout out. As for the timer, yeah, like maybe should we just double check if the here comes
Maybe.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We already.
Yeah. Is there a time extension or?
We just paused the.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right. So there is a tiny time extension. The judges are keeping track of time, so.
Time.
I think it's 22 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, right. So we're gonna just we've been told that the timer stopped at roughly 23 minutes. So we are just gonna reset the timer here for you guys. Wait, hold on. And as soon as these guys have set up, I guess have they already started the timer? Oh no,
Tord is still on the toilet.
Yeah. God, that's a long toilet visit. He must have been desperate. Yeah. Sir Pandage says Jesper ban. Have votes in the chat. Who thinks we should ban? Who thinks we should ban Jesper in the chat?
No, that's okay.
No, it's okay. Okay. Well, Lydia says no, but Time Lord Tor on the toilet. Oh, yeah, Jesper's saying ban him. He wants to be banned. The crazy guy. And Eppa said Tord went to have a chat with Odin. He wants to win this. Yep.
Yeah, maybe he was just sacrificing something. Or well, just kidding.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Just kidding. Oh, I think we might have started a riot here. Now everyone's saying ban Jesper. No, sorry, we can't ban Jesper unless he actually does something ban-worthy. That's not a challenge, Jesper, by the way.
Oh, there's someone writing love you, Custers. Yeah, we love you too.
Yeah, we love you. No, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. Poop. Oh, Jesper said poop. Is that a ban-worthy?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. This is why Jesper is one of the many meme kings of Pokemon. Yeah. Top 10 bannable offenses, being Jesper Eriksson. Alright. Anyway, enough mucking around, guys. I think the timer's restarted now, so yeah. Tord is back. We're gonna kick off the timer again. They're gonna shuffle up for game 3. Plain Simeon.
Ban me, please. Jesper, no.
No. The thing, because if you want to be banned, it's no fun. That's the point, is it?
Okay, we should go back to.
Yeah. We should.
Because it's a little bit faster than Twitch. Meme Lord.
Someone is writing in Japanese. I'm not sure what they're saying.
Maybe it's for David.
Maybe. I think that might have been the same guy who was saying like we really suck earlier or something. But whatever. Enough about that. So.
Okay, so round 3 of top 8 match, Tord Reklev versus Tamao Cameron is just about to start. Both of these players are 1-1, and this game is going to decide who takes the match and who will be able to advance into top 4.
Yeah, very absolute nail biters. We've had 2 already incredible games in this series,
definitely.
And I've no doubt that the 3rd game will be absolutely the same. So. Tord will be starting this game. Tamao did win the 2nd game, so Tord had the option to choose to go first, and of course, we're going to choose to go first. Starting off with an Ultra Ball, discarding an N and a Sycamore, and I imagine, once again, we will just see a Tapu Lele for the Bridget for the turn 1 Bridget.
It's just such a great combination, and I think this is also so healthy for a meta game. You're able to do your setup, you can do it consistently, and that's just great.
Yeah, absolutely. With Tord, before he does that though, he's going to take a quick look through his deck just to see again what is actually available to him once more. Interesting, he normally puts the Pokemon at the bottom of his deck to sort of sort it all out. Okay, he's doing that now. I was wondering if he's only putting 1. Maybe he's priced the Bridget.
Oh,
that could be.
Yeah,
I mean, this can happen sometimes if you're only playing one. Yeah. Press F to pay respects for Tord, pricing the Bridget, and now he's only able to get out the one Trubbish. Not ideal in the slightest.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. This, yeah, can't be happy about that. The one slightly upside against this isn't the sort of deck that just loses straight away if you price your Bridget. It's like, it's the ideal, but it's not 100% necessary, which is why this deck normally plays one Bridget instead of two. But still, oh, he's got a second Ultra Ball as well, so that maybe helps a little bit. I imagine after this he'll probably just play a Sycamore.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. He's still able to find two basic Pokemon. Yeah, that's something you can work with, and if he's going to play the Sycamore, which I assume he's going to play, he will probably be able to find some more Pokemon.
Yeah, indeed. We do see the opposite go for the second Trubbish off of the second Ultra Ball, realizing, you know, I've got the Drampa out already, that's fine. I just want to be able to get out as many Trubbishes as I can, so I can have the option to go between the Garbodor or the Trashalanche. And it's going to give his deck a quick shuffle, and then after that, I'm assuming, yeah, this card is going to be either a Sycamore or an N. One of the two. And there it is, Sycamore.
Sycamore.
So,
pretty good, actually.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is he going to see off this? He's got access to a Field Blower, it looks like. He's got a double colors as well, so that's his energy commitment for the turn. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously, attaching double colors means that he's a bit more vulnerable to an opponent's energy drive, but at the same time, you wouldn't really want to energy drive right now anyway. So, yeah, it's really, really good for turn 1 for Sword, actually, considering especially that the Bridget was priced.
Yeah, sure. So, let me check towards...
I don't even look at it from the side.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, sadly, it doesn't work that way.
It's like when you're playing racing games on a PlayStation or something like that, and you're moving the controller as well. Like
yeah, with a controller with no motion control, so like it literally just does absolutely nothing. Meanwhile for Tamao, no Bridget from him either. Actually, just forced to attach a Fairy Energy and play an N. This could be ugly if he doesn't actually see anything good. So he really now, off this end, he needs to see a Max Elixir, a Fairy Garden, and a Xerneas, and ideally another basic as well. It's a lot to ask for, actually. But
it is.
There's an Ultra Ball. Is that a Float Stone? No, I was going to say, the Tamao wouldn't play Float Stone, surely. Yeah, there is an Ultra Ball. And...
there's a Fairy Garden in his hand as well.
Oh, he got it. He's actually got it. The only thing he doesn't have is a second basic Pokemon, but he actually was able to... Oh, he's going to discard the... Oh, no, he doesn't have the Max Elixir. So, sorry, Dan, he didn't get it then. So, going to be forced to just go for the Xerneas instead. Not really ideal starts. Bit of watch up at Tamao.
But both didn't have a really explosive start, so both should be fine.
Yeah. The only issue might be if Tord has like the wombo combo of Choice Band, Energy, Potown, Evolution to actually just KO the Tapu Lele, then at that point he takes like a really, really quick lead. Especially considering Tamao was... I mean, he's preserved the Bridget in his hand, which is like his one saving grace, so he can just next turn Bridget free Xerneas out and then go for a Geomancy. But is that what he wants to do? Well, he's going to go for the one Xerneas now in any case. And
he already attached an energy to the Tapu Lele this turn?
He did indeed.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I was saying. After attaching energy, he needed the Max Elixir as well to actually do the turn 1 Geomancy still, and sadly hit and miss. Or actually, an attempt and a miss, rather.
Yeah, Tamao isn't really in a good board position. He's missing a lot of important stuff, but we can see a Sycamore in his hand.
He's got a Sycamore, a Fairy Energy, and a Bridget. So next turn, he just Bridgets and Geomancies. So that's fine, basically. But it might not be fine if, like I said, Tord gets the wombo combo. Because if he does, gets Choice Band and the Energy and the Evolution, and he's got 2 of the pieces already.
So there's the Potown from Tord. He evolves into Garbodor, getting some damage on the bench. There's the Energy and
the Guzma. That's even better.
He switches into the Trubbish with a Floatster and then directly retreats and down goes the Xerneas.
This is a lot of early pressure from Tord now, so I mean, Tamao's turn is still the same. He still just plays the Bridget. He gets his Xerneas out, does a Geomancy, but the problem is because Tord has managed to get this really early big attacker, he's literally going to be taking a KO turn after turn after turn.
Yeah.
And this is the way he can actually keep up with Tamao in terms of the price trade, because he's taking knockouts so early on that Tamao is going to be losing his Xerneas every single turn, and that's not what he wants to have happen to him.
And this also means Tamao is losing 1 energy every single turn.
Because there's no XP shares, exactly. Really, really unfortunate turn of events for Tamao, and it looks like he wasn't even able to get 3 Xerneas out from that Bridget, opting to go for 2 Xerneas and a Oranguru instead, which means that really it's going to be so hard for him to actually mount an attacker, because like he's going to do 1 Geomancy, it's going to go down, and then he does Geomancy again and it goes down, the second Xerneas. He needs to see the third Xerneas really, really quickly if he wants to actually stay alive in this game.
And even if he doesn't even plan to.
Okay, I think he's just realizing, look, I actually, as ridiculous as it is, I actually just can't Geomancy here. I'm going to lose my attackers too quickly. I actually just need to do, like, you know, an energy drive with Lele and then maybe follow up the next turn with something else.
True.
Either that, or I guess now he could still retreat and do the attack. But no, yeah, he would, if he was going to do that, he would have done it for anyway. So he's just going to go for the energy drive for 100, and now it's back to Tord. Tamao doing that because he realizes I need to deal with this Drampa straight away. If this is just taking knockouts turn after turn, I'm going to lose this game. Although Tord gets the choice band.
Oh.
So he actually just has
that was pretty huge. Now he's able to one-hit knock out the Tapu Lele.
Tamao, Tord putting relentless pressure on Tamao. Tamao not catching a single break again, no pun intended. As Tamao just takes a draw for the turn. He has a Sycamore available, and he also has... Wait, was that another Sycamore that he drew?
But still, Tord is in a massive lead. Not only in terms of prices, but also in terms of setup and energy on the field and, well, opportunities he has.
He just had the perfect early opening turn. Just this early pressure from Drampa is so much for Tamao to deal with, especially if Tamao was able to take a knockout on the Drampa with the Lele. It might have actually been okay. But he wasn't. Drampa's already taken 3 prizes. It's not even going to be KO'd this turn.
Yeah.
Like, Tamao actually just needs DCE Fairy Garden to just deal with this Drampa now, because if he doesn't get it, he loses this game. And he got the Lele, but he misses the DCE and the Fairy Garden.
That just hurts.
Yeah, that hurts a lot. And with this, Tamao can, how to say this? So you can do the Super Rod, so you get some of the energy you lost back, and the Xerneas, which is even more importantly than that.
Yeah, of course.
But
still, those things are in his deck. And oh yeah, there comes an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, there comes an Ultra Ball, but at this point, Tamao's just resigned to losing another Xerneas, and that means that Tord is going to take a 4-prize lead, where Tamao's not even done a single Geomancy.
It's incredible. I don't know if Tamao will be able to turn this game around.
No. Xerneas needs the time to sort of set up and everything, and the reason why it does so well against stage 2 decks is because they're busy setting up themselves.
Yeah.
They don't have time to do lots of Geomancies, and then by the time the stage 2 decks are set up properly, they the setup that the Xerneas have is more powerful enough to knock through everything. But if someone playing a deck like Tord can set up early, just take knockouts on things before they even become a threat, then you have what happens here, and you just have a really sad time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we said before the game started, when we talked about the matchup. If Tord is able to deal a lot of early game pressure with his Drampas, take out early knockouts on the Xerneas, and taking Tamao's energies away early in the game, he'll be fine.
So Tamao actually had a Fairy Garden, which I didn't realize. So he's got the Oranguru down. I think he's literally just going to dig for the DCE off of this Instruct. Instruct for 2. Does he hit it? This could be hype.
Oh, no.
Well, no. Again, a shoot and a miss. Today is not a good day to be called Tamao Cameron. And there's the DCE, the hopes and dreams ruined at the bottom of the deck. So Tamao just forced a Geomancy again. Finally a Geomancy, but Tord is just going to take another knockout. And sure, after this, Tamao will be able to take the revenge knockout with the Tapu Lele. He will be able to do Energy Drive and take the knockout on the Drampa.
Yeah,
but is that too little, too late?
Probably. I mean, if Tord is now maybe able to KO the Lele, that will probably be game.
Don't slow roll it, Tord. If you have the Guzma, whack it down. Just don't even slow roll us. Although actually, I guess if he does that, Tamao can just set a Fairy Energy and Choice Band to take the knockout. Tord is benching an Espeon, interestingly enough. He's got the Potown.
But maybe he's playing an N now and just does not want the Espeon in his deck.
Possibly. Or either that or maybe he's just waiting, he has no draw sponsor at all and he's just putting it down to avoid Tamao's N. That's another
possibility. That could also be. I mean, there's no point in attacking with Espeon GX, especially in this situation. No,
the threats, there's literally nothing involved apart from the one Xerneas break on the side of the field and it has no damage on it anyway. So you literally get nothing by doing Miraculous Shine. He has the Guzma! You slow rolled it! How could you? To be fair, he was going through his other stuff first. There's no reason to rush through these things. You just take your time, make sure you're thinking of everything properly. But now, and this actually explains why he was benching the Espeon, because he knew he was going to go down to one prize remaining. Down goes the Lele, 2 more prizes for Tord. Tamao needs to draw an Energy and a Choice Band, or an Energy and a Max Elixir hit in order to even KO this Drampa, which is ridiculous.
Oh, there's a Choice Band.
And there's an N.
And that's exactly what Tord was afraid of.
Yeah, there. So now maybe Tamao can make a comeback. It's extremely unlikely, but it's possible.
But still, Tord could use his big wheel GX, and it wouldn't, well, the Drampa would go down, but that wouldn't be too hard for Tord, and with 10 cards in your hand, there should be at least something to work with.
The Tord can only do that though if he finds another Drampa, and well, assuming Tamao gets the Fairy Energy, so yeah, this Drampa's gone. Okay. This Drampa is just out of here. That's now Tord needs to find both a second Drampa, and he needs to find an Energy in order to do the big wheel. That's his big problem, and all of a sudden, actually, crazy though it seems, Tamao might actually be with a chance of a comeback. Tord went for the aggression, thought I could race for prizes, but with Tamao playing the end at the opportune moment, I think Tord weighed it up on the basis of, even if he does end me to 1, I've got all of this stuff, I've got outs to draw, I've got lots of turns to take my last prize, so even if he ends me, it's still worth the risk. But it does leave an opening now for Tamao to maybe make this comeback here, and if Tord loses off the back of this, he is going to be very, very sad.
Oh yeah, that would be also super unlucky.
Yeah. The other problem that Tord has as well is that because Tamao has just been not playing much of anything, there's barely any items in his discard pile.
Yeah, that's true. I was just about to ask you if you kept track on it.
I think it's 1 or 2, maybe 3 at maximum. It's not a lot in any case. And what does Tord draw? Nothing useful, seemingly.
Is he just going to pass?
Quite possibly.
Counting items. 1. Looks like there's 7 or...
Oh, maybe there's more than I realised, actually. I guess I've not been keeping track as well as I thought I did. Either way...
With 7 items...
It'll be 10 short.
Yeah.
I mean, Tord has the Psychic Energy on the Garbodor and on the Trash Lunch Garbodor. If he had the energy, if he had the game ready, he would have just retreated and won. So it's quite obvious to me that he doesn't. But a Field Blower could potentially do it for him. The problem being Tord has only got 2 cards in hand because he just got End.
Yeah, true.
So it looks like he is actually just going to retreat, bring up the Trash Lunch, and he's going to do the attack. It looks like it's going to be for Tamao's picking up 2 dice. Let's say that's
100.
So there's 5 items in Plastic Card Pile then. So yeah, a Field Blower actually wouldn't even be enough. But Tamao again getting exactly what he needs. He has the Fairy Garden. He has the other energy. He can retreat into the other Xerneas and actually just KO the Garbodor. Oh no, it's not. Oh, is he 10 short? He's 10 short.
Wow.
He's 10 short.
Tamao missing out on the knockout. This is huge.
This is. I don't know if Tamao misplayed. I don't know whether we would have missed it anyway, or whether that was just.
Tord now checking items in the discard again.
Oh no, there's not been another one played. It's still the same number.
But well.
Oh, and Tord has a Howler now as well.
Wow.
I mean, it's not amazing.
He hasn't used his GX attack now, so that only gives him 4.
It does. But
4 more cards, but still more than the cards he has.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. This is such a nail biter, guys. I didn't like. Every single game has been ridiculously close. Even this one, where we thought Tord were taking a massive lead and just sealed the game up completely, and yet Tamao still has this opening to potentially take this.
But this is something we knew all the time. Late game hands can really turn a game around.
Yeah, this is why this card is as powerful as it is. What do you see? Was a Rainbow Energy, something else?
I think this was another Garbodor.
Nothing. So the Xerneas had
a Potown.
Yeah. If Tord drew the Field Blower, he actually wins the game because then the Xerneas already has some damage on it. So
he's attaching. Oh,
wait.
If he attacks with Treasure Land and then de-evolves, would this be enough for a knockout?
It would actually. If he had the access to Miraculous Shine, he'd do it this time because then he just evolves the. Oh no, sorry, the bench one would be KO'd. But yeah, now if he does Miraculous Shine, yes, this active Xerneas would be KO'd.
Yeah. So I think that's what's. Well, obviously that's what's Tord heading for now.
Yeah, and actually, doing that might have sealed the game for Tord now because that Hala being really huge because he's got the energy onto the Espeon, and now even if Tamao KOs this Garbodor, Tord can just bring up the Espeon, Miraculous Shine, devolve the Xerneas break to the Xerneas and actually take the knockout.
Yeah, so it looks like that's game.
Tord proving us wrong. I say, Espeon never going to be using this matchup, but in this clutch situation, it might actually be the one thing that clinches Tord this game, which is crazy to even think about.
I wonder if you already thought about that.
That far in advance? I mean, maybe, but I think it was mainly just he played it down to the fact that he didn't want to draw it into the end. But
probably.
This has obviously come into handy here. There's a rescue stretcher from Tamao.
I wonder what Tamao's thinking now. If there's still any. Is he playing Acerola?
I don't think so. I think Tamao, what Tamao's doing at this point, he's just going to dig as much as possible for a double colorless, so he can. Well, no, he needs to do Guzma, doesn't he? But he needs Guzma plus DCE because he needs to attack.
He needs Guzma and a field. Well, no.
No, he needs Guzma and DCE because then he can attack with the Lele instead. Because if he attacks with if he attacks with either of the Xerneas, he just loses because then the
sure.
Then the Trash Launch just doesn't knock out anyway. He's got the Guzma. Does he have he has a Max Elixir? Oh boy. Does he need to hit? He needs to hit his Elixir now, doesn't he? It's a big hit.
Is he drawing his hold? He hits the Max Elixir.
He does. Oh, but if that's the only end he has access to, maybe he's actually just going to go for the Geomancy. But
this is an interesting play.
But actually, no, I think you can't Geomancy because if you Geomancies, then after doing Guzma, then again Miraculous Shine just wins the game. Instruct. Instruct. That's what he's going for. Maybe. There's the Guzma. He's gonna bring that up into Xerneas.
Maybe he's also going for a Tapu Cure.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
So now Shake extends the hand and Tord manages to win the series.
Congratulations to Tord. He is now advancing into top 4 and I'm sure we can get him for a short winner interview.
Yeah, I'm sure we can as well. That was an absolutely amazing series, guys. I can't even believe that it went the way it did. We're going to get Tord in for an interview. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure we all want to hear how he felt from his perspective.
So welcome back. As promised, I'm here with winner of our top 8 match, Tord Reklev, who's now advancing into top 4. Welcome back, Tord.
Hey, thank you.
So one thing we were wondering about during the game, when you benched the SP on EX, we thought it would be more like a preparation of ends because you don't want it into your deck. Did you already think about the possibility of maybe taking prizes with it?
I knew it was a possibility, of course, but the main thing with benching it was to get rid of it, to not throw into it again, of course. But we ended up in a weird situation where I could actually use it to win, right? Because his math was off and I got an extra turn. I shouldn't have. I was really lucky there. Yeah,
that's true. So in general, how did the game went for you? Those were all pretty close matches.
The first game was really close, really close. He had the lead most of the game, but couldn't find the right cards in the end, and I meant to win that. I felt really lucky there. The second game I drew horribly, opened Lela N, got honestly not much at all. Had the DC priced, whiffed my DCs, and he got way too big of a lead to even make a comeback. But I tried it, so some small holes, but it's including him having nothing at all for several turns. So he won that one comfortable, and the third round he breaked horrible. So and I couldn't find much draw support, but I could find a really strong turn after his N. I got a Stadium, a Garbodor, Floatstone, and a Guzma for the KO. Really put me ahead in the tempo, but I didn't have much of a field. So if he could set up, he would definitely win. So I just tried to take all my prizes quickly. It's very risky, but I felt like I had no choice.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, that you put a lot of early game pressure on him, and that probably won you the game. So talking about the next game, do you already know who you will be facing?
No idea.
What winner will you be facing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't checked.
Okay. So who would you like to face?
The ability decks are mostly favored because I play 2 Garbodors in. So a weak Bull will be nice. I don't particularly like to play against Garbodor. It's a really close matchup, but it's more dependent on if they draw really well or not. So if they draw really well and play really well, it's hard for me to deal with. But I think my deck can play against anything, so we'll see.
Okay, so good luck for your next game, and maybe we'll see you here another time today.
Hope so. I will try my best.
Okay, see you. And stay tuned for the next round. We'll be back in a few minutes.